Pontifex Mortis, easily one of the top 5 characters in the game right now. He's very powerful. He's got a spirit-based attack, so he doesn't have any damage reduction when he's fighting against uh, armored defenders. He's got great abilities. He comes as a 3-star as soon as you get him, so his stats are pretty high. He's listed as a legendary on one of those kind of pop-up texts that they've got when you're going in between, waiting for a dungeon to load or something like that. There's 3 characters that they currently have listed as legendaries, and he's one of them. I don't know any other place that indicates that he's a legendary, but somehow they're qualifying him that way. He's very strong, and he's got pretty well-rounded stats otherwise. One of the good things is there is a way to get more of those tokens, get more of the hero tokens, and that is through the My Dungeon tournaments. You can get, the higher you score in those tournaments, at least currently, the more tokens for him you can get. So presumably you'll be able to get him up above 3-star and further improve those stats. Let's take a look at the stats. He is a dark based, so he's got a bonus against light units, but takes extra damage from them from light units as well. He's got 3 starting traits here. Heals when dealing a killing blow. That comes in really handy. Unfortunately, the game doesn't currently have a way to defend or skip the turn of any of the characters, so it's kind of hard to time it. But if you can, especially when you're going through PvE, you can try to take the last blow and with him, and then get a little extra health as you work through a level. This Undead Fervor, he increases attack and defense for all undead allies. There are only a couple undead characters right now you can choose from, but if you have those on your team, then you can give them a bonus as well. And Reincarnate, this is where he really shines. This is one of the best things about him. When he dies, he comes right back as a skeleton form of himself. His skills do change at that time, but basically you've got the character all over again. You've got quite a bit of health. You're able to maintain damaging, and no other character at this point has a skill like that. So that's, I'd say, probably his best aspect. He's got very high attack, a little bit lower defense, but still decent. His health is medium when compared to some of the others around the same level. A good critical chance, and then resistance, because he's dark type. He's got the disease resistance that's a little bit higher there. Let's take a look at the abilities. So his basic attack here, which is pretty high damage, and then Chaos Storm. And Chaos Storm is quite good damage, and it attacks everybody. So that's a nice. It's got a cooldown of 7 turns, but that's a nice skill to have for him, especially when you're doing PvP. If you can get a couple players that have got the mass effect spells, you can really do a lot of damage. He does have a normal speed, so that's good. At least he's not slow. And we're looking at, for the next ascension, what he's going to get. So this bone armor I'm interested in. They don't separate and show you which of these are the skills and which ones are going to be passive, but I believe this is going to be the skill. We'll have to check back when it comes up, when I actually unlock it. But additional attack and defense and cold resist. Here, it looks like just the next version of healing when he does the killing blow, which is nice. And the same Reincarnate. So I'm assuming that first one is actually the skill that he'll get, that it won't be just a passive. I'm not sure why they've got this listed again, but I guess we'll get to see it when we get to ascend him. So very strong. It's probably very likely you'll have him on your PvE team, grinding through levels, and then also as a defender in your dungeon. He works very well for that, and as an attacker, battling against other people's dungeons and trying to work your way up in the tournament scores, he's great all the way around. He makes sense to put in all of those categories.